Hi everyone, welcome to another weekly reading for the Collective Consciousness. This is for September 18th through 24th. You guys know the drill. Please like this video. Please subscribe to this channel. Any questions, comments, concerns, feedback, please put it down below. Let me know if it resonates. Let me know if it doesn't resonate. And share this video if you think anybody could benefit from the guidance, wisdom, and clarity that may come through this reading. That will come through this reading. Obviously it will. Okay, so all right guys, let's begin. Same decks, they're in different orders and they're shuffled. All right, let's begin. And of course, as soon as I start recording, my cat comes into the room. Okay. Speaking of animals, okay, so neat. We have animal guardian, trust your instincts. Okay, so this is really all about animal instincts, right? My cat knew that as soon as I put on this video and hit record, she needed to kind of come in here and wreak some havoc. So hopefully she doesn't try to jump on the table. But this is really about trusting your instincts. So to me, instincts are pretty much the same thing as intuition. But instincts are more like from a bodily level. Is that a word? Bodily level? Yeah. So basically this is about, trusting your gut instincts, trusting your intuition, like that kind of thing. Listening to your body is really what Spirit is saying. So I don't know about you guys, but my body has been, obviously, I think a lot of you guys know, I've been going through some health stuff the last 28 months, I think it is now. Your body really tells you a lot, right? And it's about us listening to what your body needs. So it's somewhat in that category there. So that's definitely what you need. So let me just pick the next one, see if we, with action needed, if we have any more clarity. Healer. Yes, look at that. Passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit, ability to help transform pain into healing. Oh my God, I know you guys are healers out there. If you resonate as an empath, it's like automatically you're a healer. Everybody has a self-healer in them that they need to activate. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense with what we need, listening to our body, listening to what we actually need, and taking action on that. Pretty straightforward. So definitely feels a little bit, like I always say to you guys, sometimes the first energies kind of come through like very, very strongly. So I definitely am already feeling that this week is really about getting ourselves together, becoming whole, integrating, healing. So I see a theme here, and listening to what we actually need and taking care of our needs, essentially, right? All right, let's see. Issues. Any issues with that? Time to go. We actually got this, I think, in the overall outcome last week. A lot of 9 energy kind of coming up. Again, I know 9 is not on this card, but it does kind of, the energy of this card really reminds me of that. Like it vibrates at that level of like, time to go, time to end things. So I definitely do feel like we have an issue of, I almost want to say this is popping up kind of like intuitively is, not necessarily, yes, letting go of things that no longer serve you, but also saying no to things, I think, is going to be a big thing this week. And that makes sense because if we need a lot of self-care and we, maybe we need to take care of ourselves in some way, shape, or form, emotionally, spiritually, physically, whatever it is, we have to say no. So I do feel like that's an issue. So a lot of you guys I know really struggle, and myself too at times, with people pleasing. So I definitely do feel like that's going to be maybe like a highlight this week of an issue that we're going to come across, okay? But I do feel like you guys are moving past it. Again, sometimes I feel with the issue and the challenge, like it's like either one is going to be bigger than it actually is. Like one is going to be more dominant than the other. So I don't necessarily feel, I haven't pulled the challenge yet though, but I don't necessarily feel like it's going to be a huge issue, and we definitely can transcend it and move past it. So that's the positive thing, okay? Surprise, we have detached from drama. Awesome. Okay, so because it's under surprise, I think it's going to surprise you guys of not getting involved. See, was it last week where we had something with being the observer and not getting into other people's drama, or kind of like stepping out of it, like making sure that, I think that was actually under the issue. So I will say this, if that is true from last week, sorry guys, don't remember, maybe you guys do, it looks like we're transcending that. So first of all, time out. Let me just say, you guys are amazing because you're kicking ass and you are moving past these things that are issues, that are challenges, especially if I'm seeing it week to week, and that's like a fast turnaround. So you guys should be really proud of yourselves, but and it seems like you guys are surprised that you aren't getting involved in the drama and that it doesn't involve you now, and you have become the observer and that kind of thing. So that's amazing because you don't need any more stress than, regular life, right? Okay, challenge. We have Star Ancestor, follow the voice of your soul. Guys, another intuition card, okay? You guys know I'm biased with intuition, okay? Listen to your intuition. Although I've been pretty good, I've been reading as you guys know I always tell you the truth, but there's been a lot of thinker cards. There's been a lot of don't jump to conclusions cards, like things like that, okay? So it's a balance, but looks like this week is full of intuition and instinct. So, and following the voice of your soul, which the voice of your soul, the language of your soul is your intuition, right? And so the fact that it's under challenge is it's going to be a little challenging for you guys because, maybe because of what I just said, is that a lot of you have been thinking a little bit more logically. A lot of you have been, in that side of you, which is okay. And it calls for it sometimes. There's nothing wrong with logic. Nothing at all, but this is definitely a switch, and I think because of that switch, it's going to be a little bit challenging getting used to that again, okay? So definitely listen to your intuition this week, guys. It sounds like, there's a lot that you need to listen to. Focus, we have liberator, but we have it in the shadow, okay? Imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate, ignoring legitimate constraints. Okay, so this is about not feeling free, not allowing yourself to feel free. So this is a really good journal prompt. Where do you feel not free in your life? Where do you feel like you're not liberated? Where are you not telling the truth? Where are you not feeling open, expressive, expansive? Okay, so these are questions to ask and focusing on that because, and so again, don't want to bring it, well, I do kind of want to bring it back to intuition, but so people say to me, I don't talk a lot about manifesting because what I really truly believe manifesting to be, I feel like it's kind of a two-parter, but you listening to your intuition and continuously making decisions that feel good to your soul will get you into alignment of your path in life towards, your quote-unquote destiny. And that's how you manifest the life that you want, right? And that helps you manifest freedom and truth and joy and all of those things that are really high vibe, okay? So what Spirit is asking for us here is to look at where we're not liberating ourselves, basically. And so to me, that ties into intuition. I'm not just saying all this to bring it back to it, but it's really, Spirit is asking us to get back into, really, really reconnecting to our intuition. I also do want to say, because I remember this reading, this was about 2 weeks ago where we had that kind of off week where we were kind of bouncing between, higher self versus ego. Like it was kind of very conflicting type energies. We were acting one way, thinking one way, behaving another, making one decision, backtracking that decision. Like it's just very like stop go type energy, I felt. Like very conflicting energies for a lot of us. Like I want to do this, I don't want to do this, like very challenging, or again, our intuition. So it makes sense to me with that week and that wasn't that long ago, that was 2 weeks ago, that we're really getting back to being a little bit more confident. And I'm very curious to see if any confident type cards kind of come up here in the rest of the spread. But we really, again, definitely heavy focus on intuition and starting to lean more into that as the, intuition is king versus, again, I do believe in a balance of logic and intuition, but again, if we've been focusing heavily on one thing, it's time to kind of focus on the other. That's what Spirit is saying, that's all. Okay, what do we have to reflect on besides that? Soulmates. Okay, interesting. So, relationships, very curious to kind of see what the romantic connection is here, but reflecting on our connections, reflecting on our soul-centered connections. Doesn't have to be romantic. I'm very curious to see the friends too, because friends could be soulmates. So reflecting on those relationships. When I pull my cards here, I think that will make more sense, but I kind of want to go out of order, but I won't. So let's just put a pin on that and we'll kind of come back to this for sure. Okay, responsibilities. Work your magic. Okay, this is the power card. Okay, this is about connecting to your higher self, to your soul, working your magic. That's all your responsibility. Basically, Spirit is saying like that's all your responsibilities this week is really acting from the soul, figuring out what your soul needs, listening to it, which is again intuition, taking care of what you need here, up here, healing yourself, like that kind of thing. So working your magic. So it's also a card of, when I say power card, I mean empowering yourself, like coming from a place of taking responsibility, okay, and creating your own reality. Okay, so work your magic. You're the only one that could change your life. You're the only one that can make things happen. You're the only one that could help you move forward. So the fact that it's coming up makes me almost feel like we've been kind of waiting around, and trust me, all I've been doing is being patient. And because when you're on a healing journey, that healer card there, you have to have a lot of patience, right? You're not, it's not, the journey is not linear. And you might be doing everything that you possibly can, but this is really about like not allowing yourself to like kind of give you the pity party, and understanding that you are magic. It is happening. You're the creator. In my case, my body wants to heal, and keeping those, keeping those thoughts alive, keeping those feelings alive, and working my magic and going forward. So that's a very powerful card for just, that's from the Ascended Masters deck too. And that's usually pretty straightforward, but, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so money and finances. I love when we get the trader card, exchange energy to create abundance. This is about, this is coming in intuitively. This feels like not having to spend extra money. You have something for trading, or something that somebody wants that you can barter, okay? So, oh God, what's a good example here? Last week, I remember I was having trouble thinking of an example. I forget for what though, but okay, so maybe you want a new laptop, or you want a new iPad, and you forgot that you have this old laptop that you just don't use anymore, and all of a sudden this week you find out like Best Buy or something like that is giving credit for people that turn in their old electronics. And so you might have to pay like very little or something, but you barter it, like you have something that the other party wants, that will actually will do an exchange in a way. Sorry guys, this is me on the spot coming up with examples, but almost kind of like feels like that. And because it's under money and finances, and I put career under here, it's kind of like work with, you don't have to put any extra output out. Okay. Maybe very little, but it's almost like you have something somebody else wants, or that it will be beneficial to somebody else that you could trade in and trade for. Okay, so in the way of career, this could be that maybe you want a promotion, but you don't know. God, I'm so bad at examples lately. You want a promotion, but you don't know this one program at work, but a coworker owes you for something, because you let them use your car for like a week or something like that, and they owe you and they know the program. So it's kind of like capitalizing on what you already have, or what's already owed to you, or what you can exchange or trade for, instead of thinking that you have to come up with all this money. Like the laptop, for example, is like, you don't have to come up with all this money, for the electronic, where it's like you have something that you can exchange. Okay, I think you guys get it. I'm moving on. Because I'm actually really excited to see what's under friends and romance here. Change, this is upside down. Servants, using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. Okay, wow, look at that. That's pretty, I thought the Ascended Masters deck was pretty straightforward. That is calling us out right here. So, guys, it being next to money and finances is also hashtag no coincidences ever. So I love that it's actually next to it, but it seems like we're using money as an excuse not to move forward. Spirit just gave us an example of how we can move forward without actually having all of this money. You can be resourceful, you can be resilient, you can be adaptable, you can be flexible, you can find a way. And so this is like your, it's not the slave card, but it's kind of the same type of energy where we're being like, we're being like basically a slave to money, using it as, I'm just going to say it, guys. And I really kind of hate the victim word, but it's kind of like we're using, the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward. And that is definitely something that is going to confront us this week for sure. My cat better not try to jump up here. That's all I have to say. She's eyeing this. No, go away. No. Okay. No. Sorry, guys. Susanna, no. Okay, she listened. Okay. All right, so here we go. We're in the corner that I am very interested in. All that glitters. All that glitters always tells me that the grass, it's kind of like this vibe of the grass is always greener on the other side. So very interesting that it's under friends because, how do I put this? Guys, I think it's going to have to be another metaphor here. I'm also going to pull another card too. Maybe I can do this all together because I'm definitely feeling intuitively that this is kind of all connected where it's saying reflecting on those soul level connections. And so, okay, we have, listen. Okay, so with this, it's all that glitters. So for me, this feels like potentially taking advantage of, not taking advantage, taking for granted is the word that I'm looking for, of our friends, thinking that, guys, we're all human here, so it's okay to admit that sometimes we may have these thoughts. Doesn't make you a bad person, doesn't, et cetera, et cetera. What's a bad person anyway, right? But this is kind of saying like, because I'm definitely getting like, you guys know I read like intuitively, obviously, but I read feelings wise too, clairsentience basically. So I'm getting like this feeling of like envy a little bit. Like we're envious of like other people's friend groups. We're envious of other people's relationships. We're envious of other people's dynamics, like that kind of thing. And so I think that's really coming up this week. And because it's under reflect here, like where I feel like all of these are kind of connected, and we'll get to this in a minute. It's important to kind of reflect on that of, why are you envious? Why are you jealous? What are these dynamics? And if that's true, how could you emulate the type of relationship that you do want with the soulmates in your life? Because what I am getting, again, that taking for granted is it's not like, it's like you want the relationships, at least the friendly types, can go for romantic too. You want them to be different in some way, shape, or form, okay? And I'm talking about the soul friends, right? Or the soul cat that I had to just shoo away. But okay, so I hope that makes sense for you guys. Let me read the romantic connection. This is about listen, being an active listener. And so this is reflecting on how you're an active listener with the soul connections in your life. So what I can say is that where can you be a better friend? Where can you be a better lover? How can you improve the relationships in your life? Because there's a heavy influence on, like, this energy is really potent for this. I'm talking especially the soulmates. You guys know who you are. If you're an introvert, you probably have 2 or 3 soulmate friends, that you would ride or die for, basically. And so this is really about really looking at those relationships and seeing how you can improve them, active listening, and also think about what you envy in other relationships. If you're looking at other relationships and you're saying, oh, I wish I had this, or, et cetera, et cetera. All right, hopefully that makes sense. Let's move on. Important. Okay, mirror guardian, take time to reflect. Okay, reflect. So I'm getting a lot of reflection up here. I'm feeling it very potent. It kind of goes into this corner here, so it's a big part of the week. So also intuition is a huge part, following the call of your soul, of your higher self. So yeah, it's more of an introspective week, pretty important stuff. It's not so much actively doing kind of week, but it's definitely a reflecting type of week. So that's important. So take the time to reflect, essentially. Health and wellness. What do we got going on here? Alchemist, transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. Yes, Alchemist is, you have the power to change anything. Very kind of similar to the Work Your Magic, is that we have the power to transform, transmute, transcend, okay? And we are the alchemist. The alchemist I always think of like, making potions, or the actual book, if anybody's ever read it. Amazing book. Amazing book. If you haven't read it, read it. To me, I think it should have been called The Alignment, in my opinion, but it's called The Alchemist. But anyway, it's kind of the same thing, basically. It's just like being the creator of your own reality, basically. And so this is really, to me, it feels like there's a heavy emphasis on spiritual health. Can I say intuitive health? Are you guys tired of me talking about intuition? Emotional health, mental health, that kind of thing. So where can we change our thoughts? Where can we change our feelings? Where could we change our life? That kind of thing. Just looking at it. I think it's called the Wheel of Life, like all the different areas of life where you can shift and transform. So you might want to kind of do like one of those exercises or something like that. Okay, and then overall outcome, what do we have here? Come to the edge. Very similar to this time to go. Guys, I'm telling you, I'm feeling 9 energy. I just realized we're in September, and even though numerology-wise, I actually don't know the month numerology-wise. Guys, why don't I know this? But this is the 9 calendar, so there is 9s here, okay? We just had a 9-9 portal happening, so we could be feeding off of that energy as well. All my astrology peeps, go down in the comments below and let me know if, anything more in depth about that. I'm not super well versed on astrological events, but it just feels like we're kind of ready to jump, right? That's kind of the feeling. So all of this work that Spirit is asking for us to do, cultivate our own power, create our own reality, reevaluate and make sure that we're strengthening the bonds that we do have with our soulmates, and listening to our intuition is weaved in here, up and down in each one here. So it's really preparing us for the next chapter. So this is really just like a week of preparation, a week of reflection, and a week of really, because it's such a reflective week, it doesn't feel like it's action oriented, meaning like we don't have to make the changes now, but we need to know where we're going, right? I know the word intentions has been coming up lately, even in the dailies that I've been pulling. So that's part of it, okay? Being intentional is you have to tap into your intuition for that too, because you need to understand where you're going, and why you're going there and why you want it, right? So that's part of that. So guys, it's just preparing you for what you want, right? For everything that you want. So, okay, guys, I will say this, very reflective week. I love it. I don't see anything that is super, definitely not like 2 weeks ago. I know last week was definitely better too, but this is going to be a pretty chill week, which I'm excited about. This is really tapping into our intuition, and nothing makes me happier, right? Okay. All right, guys, have a wonderful week. Don't forget, any comments or questions or feedback or anything, just put it down below, and have a wonderful week. I'll see you next week. All right, bye, guys.